Today on Hey, We're Talking about the Super Bowl a week and a half after it happened.
We're going to find out about pink lady Doritos.
Dilly dilly!
Dilly dilly!
Dilly dilly.
Oh my goodness, how is everybody doing? Welcome to Hey, We're Talking.
And that's exactly what we're doing. We're talking.
Yeah. Right, Derek?
I'm trying to wake up. So just give me a minute.
Bob sprung this on us a little bit. Not really, but he was like, hey, I'm going to get off work early. You guys want to do this early? Which really, we're literally 15 minutes before we were originally supposed to start.
I was supposed to get off. Mm-hmm. I plan on getting out of there a half hour earlier than I normally do because I went in early today. And I wound up planning to leave out of there at 3:30, left out of there at 3:51. And I'm like, come on, man. Let's go.
That's what we said, too. We were like, come on, man, because you woke Derek up. Look at him. He can barely keep his eyes open. A
good stretch and some coffee. Where's your espresso?
He's drinking it right now. Did you make an Americano or what did you do?
No, I'm actually, this is a pour over. This is some Costa Rican geisha.
You can't say gay on the air, dude.
Well, it's a varietal of coffee beans.
Oh, Scott. I guess if you're saying it nice, you're allowed to. Is geisha? Geisha?
Geisha. It's a varietal of bean. It came from Ethiopia and Yemen that actually grows pretty well over here, like in Costa Rica and Central America.
Oh, I didn't even know Derek was in Costa Rica.
Oh, you're in
That's
Costa
weird.
Rica?
But I meant over here in the Western Hemisphere.
Listen to this guy, the Western Hem.
You've got to say hem like the cool kids. Yeah, I'm in the Western Hem. It's all good.
It's a little weird.
Something I've been doing is shortening words unnecessarily.
To be cool like Jimmy Fallon and Justin Timberlake did. Did you see that?
I did not see that, but it's just something that I do anyway, so maybe they're copying me.
They are. Totally.
What did they shorten for the people that don't know?
They did a thing after the Super Bowl. By the way, we have to talk. We were all wildly off on the Super Bowl. This is like a whole week later, but it's not really in real life. In real life, it's like 2 days later. So seems like we're talking about the Super Bowl, and it was like a week and a half ago. But no, we're talking about it 2 days later, and we were all horribly wrong on the score. All of us.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I don't think any of us were relatively close. I mean, Derek said 34 for a high score. I had 34 as a high score. John had 34 as a high score for a team.
John?
My
son. I was like, why are we talking about some listener?
But yes, we were all...
Wow. Everybody's there's Scott's opinion of the listener.
No, I thought he was
talking about some listener.
I thought he was going to go through the whole entire, like, every single person that made a prediction. If there was like something I hadn't seen where it was all these people who listened to the show. Yeah,
Wilbur Roberts predicted the score. I don't know who that would be.
I have to say a couple of things about this game, even though this is so far after for everybody else. But I have to say that was, first of all, entertaining for sure. It was fun. It was fun to watch. But I bet you everybody all over the world was like, "Oh, Brady's going to come back," because he got so close at the end. I mean, that Hail Mary. The truth is, am I crazy or did it look like Gronkowski got completely mugged in the end zone?
Yeah, that was pass interference, and then I go back
all
to
over him.
I go back to both touchdowns that the Eagles scored. The one I don't who had it.
It's so close. It was the running back, 30.
Former Bear.
Is it Coleman or something like that?
No,
you're talking
Chicago
about
Bear, the wide receiver on Eagles.
Alshon Jeffrey.
Alshon Jeffrey, when he was the one I think that had that one that went on the back side of the end zone.
Yeah.
Where he bobbled it as he fell.
As he went out, yeah.
And by all standards that we've seen in football, that would have been an incomplete pass.
Oh, during the season, that was 100 million times they would call
because he bobbled it back and forth, and then obviously the other one where the ground the ground he hit the ground with the ball as he was falling, and it came up, and it's like, okay, is that considered an incomplete pass, or is that? Dude. And they decided he became a runner.
Yeah.
After he had possession of the ball, so I guess it would have been a fumble with a recovery equals a touchdown. But it's like
he crossed the plane as soon as he was a runner. All he had to do was just touch the ball over the thing.
True.
And then it's a touchdown. That's what they said. So, Derek, did you get to see those or no because you were working?
I'm loving the sports ball talk, guys. I really am. I watched the first quarter, and then I got in my car, and I went to work, and I listened to some of the second quarter in the car, and then I got to work, and I kind of was able to pop in on it occasionally, but I did not sit down. We had, I had to pull a nurse from the ER to work on the med-surg side, which meant I was taking ER patients, and there was stuff going on, so I was busy, okay?
Oh, you actually had to work, huh?
Yeah, I actually had to work.
Okay.
Well, patient care is much more important than a foosball game, silly foosball.
I mean, I could disagree with you there, but I would get fired or whatever.
Then don't.
But no. It's of course.
Yeah.
No, we have there is a television in the nurses' lounge that is on that we can put on whatever channel we need, and we had it on in the background. I was able to kind of glance at things. I saw some of the plays. Not too many. I was, it looked like it was exciting, and I wish I could have sat down and watched it, and of course enjoyed the commercials, but I had to work.
Yeah, there were actually some pretty decent commercials, and I think there were only 2 commercials that even got slightly political this year, which was interesting. They really changed the tone. Seemed like last year there was a lot of political leaning commercials. And this year it was vastly different. Different.
I think the NFL had to do that because there's been so much political stuff around the NFL with, people kneeling for the national anthem and, their ratings being down and this and that. There's so much around it that they had to get involved in some way and do something. And if there was more negativity with all these political ads, I think that just would have been bad for the NFL.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of glad they didn't allow all that stuff to come through. And maybe, I don't know, I would assume that tons of people wanted to do political ads, but they were just shut down because, people are going to want to, bash somebody from the other party. So
they let one through that I was kind of like, okay, interesting.
Which one was that?
Blackshear. It was pretty short, but it was like this thing where it had an African-American guy up on stage with tape over his mouth and a blindfold on, and the message was basically something like, if you don't want to be silenced anymore or whatever, and then it said Blackshear. It was like black and rapture put together. I don't know what it is.
I'm not sure what that
but that was it was very much like, you could tell it was like, we're making a statement, and I was just kind of like, okay, interesting.
I have no idea what you're even talking about there, and it's interesting that Bob is all about censorship and does not like freedom of speech. Once he's like, the NFL, censoring the things, making it less political.
Well, they did censor stuff.
Go for it.
But
I'm not necessarily saying I like it. I was going from the NFL's perspective, just saying the fact that they don't need any more negativity. I mean, they've already been dealing with a lot of it. So I was saying from the NFL's perspective, I was upset that the NFL didn't allow anybody to do a pro-American stand, for the flag, kind of commercial.
Well, that's the one thing that they did not allow for sure, was that one.
Right.
They told those guys. It's like retired military guys wanted to put a commercial on.
I think it was the AMVET, not the AMVET.
Yeah, AMVET.
Maybe
that was it.
Maybe
it was.
Maybe somebody.
Yeah.
Bottom line is that all the ad and the censorship or whatever, it's all motivated by money.
Yes, it is.
All right,
yeah.
That's it. It doesn't matter. We're going to hear about it's about patriotism. It's about positivity. Whatever. It's about money. Last year Budweiser did the one where they were showing Augustus Busch as an immigrant who came over, picked himself up by the bootstraps, built a brewery. The American dream. It was pretty nice. This year, dilly dilly.
Yeah.
Dilly dilly.
Yeah. And I don't. That dilly dilly thing is not that funny to me. I mean, I get it.
I thought it was annoying.
but they're just really sticking with it. They're not giving up on Dilly Dilly.
Yeah.
Well, they're hoping it's going to be the next Budweiser.
Nope.
Something like that. I don't know.
Not going to happen.
I have a huge problem with it. A huge problem with it because it's the hypocrisy of Anheuser-Busch InBev. They in those commercials for Budweiser, they're especially that very first Dilly Dilly one where the guy where all the people are presenting the king with beer. Here's some Bud Light for you, Your Majesty, and they're like Dilly Dilly. And then some guy presents them. He's like, "This is a honey mead that I've really been into lately." And they're like, "To the dungeon with you and your craft."
I know.
Well, I wonder, was that a stick at the craft beer industry?
Yes,
but Anheuser-Busch, they keep investing in that.
Oh, we know that. Yeah, that's all they do is they buy up all these small beer companies and roll them under their umbrella.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's hypocrites. Hypocrites.
Not only that, the thing that's funny is they, at the same time, they criticize craft beer. Like, they had commercials, I think they were last year, that were like Budweiser commercials that were like some guy, just like, some rugged dude that just at some bar and he asks for a beer and they bring out something and I don't remember the whole gist of it, but I do remember this guy being like, I don't want that crap. He gets a Bud Light because that's real beer.
Yeah, and they're like, we're proudly a macro brew,
right,
not a micro brewery. Right. They tout how they're proud to be, just a regular. We're all American beer.
I thought it was fun. I thought it was funny how they did the commercial where they showed how they stopped production of Budweiser, and they actually started filling cans with water and all that stuff
for the hurricanes and stuff. That was nice.
Yeah, first off, don't brag about the nice things you do. Second off, no. If it's nice, keep quiet about it.
Why?
You don't have to brag about it. Number two, aren't they just pouring the same contents into the cans because Budweiser tastes like dirty water anyways?
Bud Light is not. No, not even Bud Light. Coors Light is the one that's almost literally just like water.
They're all gross. They all say
They're
triple filtered. I don't need my beer filtered. Leave all the floaty stuff in there. That's the good part.
Let me divert a little bit, but I want to ask because I think Derek would have loved these commercials. Did you see the Tide commercials?
Yeah, I did.
Those were really good.
I saw a few recaps of some of the commercials. So, I saw a lot of the good commercials. Yeah, the Tide commercial was the guy from Stranger Things, and they were basically pretending to do all the other commercials.
They were really funny, dude.
Is this a beer commercial?
No.
Is this a car commercial? Is this a
soda
commercial? No. It's a Tide.
I did like the Pringles commercial, though. Did
that
you guys
was kind
see
of
that
funny,
one?
too, yeah.
Where they're like adding different flavors stacking different flavors of Pringles together and eating them, and it was just like, create your own Pringles. I thought that was kind of funny.
Bill Hader makes everything more funny. So
he's a hater, though.
No, he's a hater.
Yeah, I know he's a hater.
Anyway,
he hates things.
But the Tide ones, I said to Cheryl, I was like, I wonder if they're doing, because they had a lot of spots during the Super Bowl. I'm like, I wonder if part of this is because all these stupid kids keep eating Tide Pods.
Well, maybe they should have said, "Don't eat Tide Pods."
No, they're not gonna like get out there and be like, "Hey, people have been eating our Tide Pods." They don't want anybody to know that, but they're like, "Hey, we need to get our name out there a little more and have some positive affirmations."
Our Tide Pods are for more than just eating. They clean laundry.
We should probably ditch the planned topic. And when we come back for the break, just finish talking about the commercials.
About Tide Pods?
And Tides and stuff like that. I think we should.
We could.
Well, we could always switch this topic to Wednesday, which would be more appropriate.
By the way, everybody, you're getting a little behind the scenes into what happens when the mics turn off, but we're doing it for you live on the air. How do you like that? I like that.
Yeah, because sometimes the thing is, if the show flows a certain way, we just kind of let it go and just take it that way. So that's kind of what we do here at Hey We're Talking.
Yeah, the thing is, we have to, now that we've talked about the commercials, we also have to talk about Justin Timberlake. So we can talk about some more commercials.
And Pink.
Yeah, that's good
Way to pat yourself on the back, Bob Weiser. We did great. We did so good. we threw.
They ran out of coffee, so we filled it up with water.
We threw ourselves a little curveball, and we just went with it.
I think the commercial was more about the people. They were taking pride in the fact that they worked there and they were making water cans for people.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
trying to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Well,
I'm usually the negative one, and you're usually the positive one, and now you're crapping on Budweiser.
No, some of these companies just like to brag or boast about the good things that they do.
Well, the President of the United States does like to brag, so maybe it's rubbing off on people.
Yeah, hopefully not too much other stuff rubs off on people.
I'm just trying to stand up for Kevin Twyford and his love for the craft beer industry.
I like when we do that, by the way. A little name drop every once in a while for our friends.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, our friends are. Every time we do it, somebody's like, hey, man, that was cool. You said my name. It's like,
by the way, before the show.
Kevin's on his way to work right now.
Yeah.
We're on his way home, smoking a stogie.
No, he's on his way to work.
Car.
He listens on his way. And I think he has to get up at some ungodly hour. It's ridiculous. He has to be there by like 3 a.m.
So I think he's like up at 1 and out of the house.
Because I told him I was talking about how we upload the podcast, and I said that I set it to go out at 2 a.m. and he was like, "Don't change the time because it's perfect timing. I get in my car and it downloads it, and I can listen to it all the way to work." I was like, "All right, there you go."
There you go, Kevin. Just for you,
just for Kevin Twyford. But I wanted to say too, before we started the show, you were asking me something because you were talking about Boontar, so we get to say his name too.
Who?
Boontar.
Oh yeah. My friend.
Now I feel bad, like for the people we didn't talk about, like Jimmy.
Who? Jimmy.
John and Jim.
Jimmy Smithers.
Yes.
What's
Smithers?
His name?
Yeah.
Yes,
all right.
Jimmy Smithers.
We're gonna come back and talk a little more Super Bowl. Sorry, it's a week late, but what are you gonna do? We want to talk about it, so that's what we're gonna do. We'll be right back after this. Fast, simple, and affordable. That's what registering your domain name with GoDaddy will be. Fast, simple, affordable. And if you listen to this show, Hey, We're Talking, you know you're getting a discount, 30% off, if you go to trygodaddy.com/HWT. Again, 30% off. All you have to do is go to trygodaddy.com/HWT for 30% off your domain name and other business services provided by GoDaddy. Hey everybody, we are back, and we've been talking about, we're late, but I don't care because it's a fun topic. We're talking about the commercials from the Super Bowl, and we're going to talk a little bit about the entertainment as well. I think we covered the best commercials that I remember. There were a couple other ones that were pretty fun. Derek, do you have any that you were thinking of?
I loved the Doritos Mountain Dew rap battle with Peter Dinklage and Morgan Freeman. That was
interesting.
That was brilliant. I thought.
Yeah, it was one of the ones that was kind of there, but it wasn't like my favorite. But it was definitely entertaining, to say the least.
Unique, yes.
Yeah. I'm trying to think
Busta Rhymes and Missy Elliott, and I read an article, like I read an interview or something with Missy Elliott, and she was just tickled to death. She was just elated that they used. Get your freak on
plus Morgan Freeman, that had to be pretty cool.
She was like, if you would I put that song out like 18 years ago. If you would have told me that would have been in a Super Bowl commercial nearly 20 years later being lip synced by Morgan Freeman, I would have thought you were crazy.
Yeah, I think that was pretty fun. And that is cool for artists like that though, because now that song, people are going to be like, people that don't know the song are going to be like, what song is that? Who did that? And now all of a sudden it's going to get a whole bunch of downloads, and then this artist is going to make money off of it, like they did before. Did you guys see the Danny DeVito M&M's commercial?
Yeah, that was interesting also.
That was kind of
aware of it,
but funny.
He was a red M&M, and then he says he wishes he could be a human or whatever, and it's Danny DeVito in a red M&M shirt, and he gets hit by a truck. The one thing I wanted to say about Doritos that was funny, I heard today, the CEO of Doritos has said that she wants to make a special Dorito for women only that's not crunchy.
What?
That does not crunch and doesn't leave stuff on your fingers, because women do not like things that crunch or leave residue on their fingers. And the feminists are not happy about this. They said, why in the world do we need a special Dorito for women? Because we're just as good as men and we can crunch Doritos just like a man. By the way, I agree. Why would you make a different Dorito for a girl?
That doesn't make any sense at all. That makes zero sense.
Well, what they did is they took a look at the way men and women eat chips and noticed there was such a big difference. Men lick their fingers with great glee, and they reach into the bottom of the bag. They pour out all the little broken pieces into their mouth.
And girls don't like the crunchy sound. According to Doritos, anyway. Pepsi.
Yeah, and then women would love to do the same thing, but they don't. They don't like to crunch loudly in public. They don't like to lick their fingers.
Cheryl's dying right now.
They don't like to pour the little pieces and the get all the flavoring that's stuck at the bottom of the bag into their mouth.
Like the best part.
Yeah. I've got a great idea to solve the problem.
What?
Why don't they just on the outside of the bags, like put a pair of plastic gloves?
That's a great idea.
And then the women can just use the gloves.
But
that wouldn't solve the crunching. Yeah.
No.
Their mouth when they chew.
I have such a huge problem with this. You want a corn chip that doesn't crunch
exactly.
and doesn't get the seasoning on that? It's called corn on the cob. Eat it, lady.
I bet you girls don't like to eat corn on the cob either because that's a really messy.
You can't have everything. It's 2018. We live in the greatest time in human history. You can't ask for more. Stop it.
So I will tell you, the internet did not like that idea very much. There's some hilarious tweets. One of them was, "My generation marched so further generations of women could enjoy Lady Doritos."
Lady Doritos.
I don't know why this has struck such a chord with me. I don't know. I mean,
because it's pure lunacy, dude. It's like. It's a Dorito, man. You don't have to make a special Dorito for a female to eat. And on top of that, it literally flies in the face of everything that people that say we should have equality. It just basically makes it look stupid because it should all be the same.
It should be. Somebody else said, instead of crunching noise, the new Lady Dorito should just say sorry quietly every time you bite down.
Let me tell you something. I got on Google and I typed in FEM.
And it's first thing, female Doritos.
At the bottom, there's like 10 of them. It says female Doritos. It's already in Google autocomplete.
Oh, that's so great.
And that's the name of the episode, female Doritos.
So, okay, let's switch gears. I'm sorry, I threw us way off topic. Female Doritos. That's so great.
Now they're going to have to come up with like pens that are just designed for women's hands and
listen,
they're going to have to
fit in a purse. And it says it needs to fit in a purse.
Here's the joke. Here's the joke of everything. Do you know that women make 80% of the buying decisions in the world? So it's not like things are technically marketed towards us anyway. There are certain things, but the truth is women rule the world as much as nobody wants to admit it. I know we're getting too deep here. I need to.
Well, there's
back.
one main reason why women rule the world.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. All right. So, speaking of, let's talk about Pink singing the national anthem. Huh? You brought it up, Bob. I'll let you go. Go.
So I watched it live, of course, and I thought she did a beautiful job. It seemed like there was one point where she struggled to hit a note and pulled away from the mic, and I was just like, okay, that's unusual for Pink. I mean, I think Pink's got a absolutely beautiful voice, and she's got a lot of talent. So, I mean, I think besides that one little snippet, I thought she did a great job. I saw a headline somewhere that she had the flu or something, which I'll look it up as you guys talk. But
I heard.
I mean,
I think she had like really bad flu symptoms. Yes.
Did you guys see it?
I thought it was really good, though. I even though you're saying that, I know what you're talking about. There was this one spot where she kind of pulled back from the mic. But I think she did an amazing job. It was really good.
I thought it was pretty good. I was I was home at that point.
Yep.
Getting ready to go to work, and I heard later she was sick with the flu or flu-like symptoms, and she did a good job up until the land of the free.
She didn't do that bad.
No,
did
she did. No, she cracked on. She cracked on.
Everybody can crack on the free.
And then she kind of backed off and did the falsetto. Free.
Yeah.
And then finished it off. It was
like
great.
Pink.
I mean, I didn't. It's great.
Yeah.
I don't fault anybody for missing those notes. I personally, I get nervous every time someone sings the national anthem. I don't want them to screw it up.
Because
Roseanne,
it has happened.
Like Roseanne Barr did.
Or Carl Lewis is the best one. Look that up someday. That's a good one. I mean, Carl Lewis was in the Olympics, Bob, if you don't remember. You're looking at me like, who is Carl Lewis?
No, it took me a second to remember, but I remember.
He did one at a basketball game, and it was a train wreck. The crowd literally at one point, because he's doing it a cappella, and he's just like going all over the place. And he himself, when he stumbles over this one word, we're going to have to find the video of this because it's great. He stumbles over something, and then he goes, "Oh!" Like he knows how bad he is. He was like, "Oh!" And the crowd's like, "Oh!" And they start laughing. It's at an NBA game, and then he tries to finish it off. And I've
seen that,
it's
and I don't think. And sometimes I don't mind so much. If you fail to hit the note, whatever. It's a very emotional moment. It's intense. It's when you screw up the words that's where you're like,
yeah.
I have watched my little brother sing the national anthem on national television before.
Yeah,
I've seen that.
And did he forget any of the words?
No, he did great. And
did he crack?
No. Nailed it. He's a consummate professional. He did a great job. And I know he he prepares quite a bit. I know he goes over the lyrics because we all know the lyrics.
Right, but in
the moment,
yeah.
But in the moment you can get lost. So I think he had a little card. He was like, I think he had his hand over his heart, but he had some of the lyrics.
I'm not sure. Funny is that a lot of stadiums though they'll put it up on like the billboard or whatever.
Oh yeah, the big
screen.
So
it's like if
you everybody can sing along, you're looking at the flag. Oh, say can you see? Yeah. And if you're not listening, I was mimicking looking over at the billboard and
actually if you're not listening, Derek says if you're not seeing,
you're not watching
on YouTube,
okay. Not visualizing. I'm a very visual.
Speaking of performers, Justin Timberlake, let's get your takes on this before I give you mine. What do you think, Bob?
I didn't see it. I did not see it.
So I don't get why there was so much bashing him.
Exactly.
That piece I didn't understand. I thought his dancing and his actual performance was good. I thought it was cool that they actually did it on ground level instead of rolling out a huge stage.
Yeah.
There was a small stage off to the side or whatever, but I mean that they were on for a period of time, but not this big monstrous stage like we've seen so many years in the past. I think the tribute to Prince was cool.
You know how much crap he got for that, though?
Which I don't get it. I don't get
they're
why.
In Minneapolis, man, you have to do something. And he's a big fan of Prince, too. So it's like, how would you not do that?
Yeah, I don't get where all the criticism. It seems like everything was criticized. It started with, the Super Bowl, the teams that were in it.
Yeah.
Then it went to, the starting performance of, Pink and then on down the line all the way through the end of the Super Bowl. So... there were so many people like, oh, what did Pink take out of her mouth right before the performance? Gum. Was she spitting out gum? No, she said it was the throat lozenge. She's sick.
Oh, okay.
So, but people made such a big deal about it. It's like, really? Why are you guys all freaking out about everything?
Oh, social media.
I remember that. We were sitting there watching that, and my wife goes, "Spit out your gum." I need to tell her that was a throat lozenge.
Oh my gosh!
Well, that was according to Pink. It was a throat lozenge on her Twitter. So,
but Timberlake.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. Timberlake.
Sorry, my wife.
Exactly. I thought it was very entertaining. A lot of people were upset because he didn't sing everything. Because he was like running up and down the stairs and like dancing around and stuff, and people were like, he didn't sing the whole time, and I was like, who cares? It was a fun, entertaining show. That's all that matters, weirdos.
Yeah, it's not one of those things where he has to sing the full time. He's there to entertain too, and part of his entertainment is dancing and choreographed everything and all that stuff. So it's like I said, I don't get why people are just finding something to complain about, something negative. Scott's not negative this year. Stop throwing stuff at him.
That's correct. Thanks for reminding me that what I was going to try and do this year. I don't know if I'm doing it or not.
That was definitely a fun recap of the commercials, the performances, the national anthem. And we did talk about some of the plays, but, I got to say that, congrats to the Philadelphia Eagles. Congrats to Nick Foles.
Spoiler alert if you haven't watched it yet. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, for stepping off the bench and taking the team to victory. That was, as an NFC East Dallas Cowboys fan, I'm like, I have no love for the Eagles at all.
Right.
But it's like, hey, good job. You got to give them props. You got to give them props for being in the moment and taking out the Patriots. And it was pretty awesome. And I'm hoping that the Dallas Cowboys are able to fight back and dethrone the Super Bowl champs next year. What's going on?
It's sometimes when you're doing these things where you're going on a little bit of a run, I just keep thinking, okay, I think he's done right there. No, I think he's done. No,
you're trying to jump
because
right
I'm wrapping up the show.
Oh yeah, we'll wrap it up.
Because it sounds like you're wrapping it up. Because you were like, because you give us when you do the conclusion at the end like that, I kind of go, oh, Derek is telling us it's time to wrap up the show. So I wait for you to get to the point where I think okay, this is where he wants us to be done, and then I wait, and sometimes it just makes me laugh because it doesn't stop.
See, I don't know how Derek knows that because you got the timer, Scott.
I know.
You're the one that knows how much time we have left in the show. So what if we had 8 minutes left? Derek trying to wrap it up a little early?
I would wrap it up because
we've been on the Skype. We've been on the Skype call for 38 minutes. And, and I know we started 5 minutes into the thing. So
you're pretty close. Yeah. So on that note,
at the end of a podcast, what are we supposed to do? We're supposed to have what they call a call to action.
Okay,
Scott.
Bob, give us the call to action.
It's a little too inside baseball.
I'm throwing this to you, Scott. So the call to action. Where should people follow us, listen to our show, all of that stuff?
What a debacle this is. This is like how not to podcast. Okay,
now that you've listened to our show, here's some homework for you.
Yeah. You guys know where to go. We're on every podcast app. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. HeyWe'reTalking.com. If you want to just go to the website, it'll take you directly to the Podbean app, and you can listen to the show to your heart's content. And then you can email us, heywe'retalking@gmail.com. We're on Twitter at HeyWe'reTalking. We're on Instagram at HeyWe'reTalking. We're all over the place.
Oh, we're on Spotify. Oh, wait. No, we're not. Spotify.
Thanks a lot, Spotify. Yeah. Anyway, do us a favor. We've been doing a couple of Facebook Live shows. It was pretty fun. And we've had a lot of people jump on and listen. Do us a favor and share the show with people. That's the only way that anybody new is ever going to hear this show. So if you share it with your friends, talk about it.
And then you can say you were there first.
Yep. You can
I introduced you to that show.
Yeah,
exactly.
Dude, I love it. All right. Until next time. Oh, by the way, next time we're going to be doing something fun for Valentine's Day. So make sure you're there.